Agrunaishla Accordia, it's Misha Paul Cunningham, Fulcher Roth Golair. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, friends, family. My name is Paul Cunningham. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 16th annual IST-Africa conference, hosted this year by the Department of Science and Innovation of South Africa. This week, we're going to celebrate the importance of strategically focused research, innovation, and policy. We all better understand now how important technological innovation is, considering the impact that COVID-19 has had on all of our friends and families around the world. This morning, we're going to have a welcome from the Honourable Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology, South Africa. But before that, I'd like to provide a brief context to remind us of what we're celebrating together this week. So the work of IST-Africa started back in 2002. And the IST-Africa Institute is a not-for-profit research and policy institute supported by the European Commission and African Union Commission, open to participation by governmental institutions from all Africa, Caribbean, Pacific Group countries, and currently represented by 18 African member states. Our objectives are simple but challenging: to foster cross-border, interdisciplinary and multi-stakeholder policy, research and innovation collaboration, to strengthen capacity by promoting research, innovation and entrepreneurship-related good practices and cooperation, to monitor technology and innovation-related research and innovation activities, to identify common research, development and innovation priorities, and to promote widespread participation by different key stakeholder groups in international research. Over the last 10 years, IST-Africa and its partners have helped African universities secure over 200 million euro in funding to further strengthen the building of multi-stakeholder research and innovation culture, addressing societal challenges and aligned with the governmental policies that underpin the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We've published comprehensive reports that are widely used at national and international level to inform policy development, and many of you on this call have been contributors to that work. There's been a significant increase in research publications from and about the African continent, which we all understand is extremely important, so the technological innovation around the world addresses the needs of developing economies and low resource communities. It showcased African research and innovation capacity, and critically facilitates both institutional and human capacity building as it relates to strengthening digital innovation ecosystems. The IST-Africa Institute is proud to be a member of the United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network and to have been recognized by the International Telecoms Union as a WSIS Prizes champion in 2018. So this just to remind you of some of the partners in the IST-Africa Consortium. And again, we're open to participation by all African, Caribbean, Pacific Group countries. This is just to provide you with a reminder of the wealth, breadth, and depth of research capacity that exists. Now, admittedly, this doesn't cover all African member states. This is focused solely on IST-Africa member states, but it does provide a good picture of some of the common research priorities that we share across the continent in addressing societal challenges. And I think it's really important that going forward, we identify other public, private, and societal funded research institutions across the continent so that they have an opportunity to have their 15 minutes and, more importantly, build those strategic partnerships both across the continent as well as around the world. While innovation spaces, and particularly digital innovation spaces, are still at a relatively early stage, you can see that there's a rich diversity of activity happening across the continent. And it's very important that from, particularly from a public and an education and research perspective, that we ensure that digital innovation spaces in our respective countries have the necessary capacity, have the necessary access to resources, have the necessary partnerships and relationships on a cross-border basis to effectively support not just the traditional communities, such as graduates and entrepreneurs and early stage small and medium-sized enterprises, but critically also the typically disenfranchised, underemployed, less well-educated youth, women, differently abled, the non-traditional actors that are locked, unfortunately, into the informal economy. And we need to do what we can to leverage the infrastructure, the digital infrastructure that we're now starting to enjoy the benefits of, so that that goes and benefits everyone. This is again just a reminder of some of the reports that are downloaded thousands of times a year off the IST-Africa portal, and to remind you of this open invitation to continue to collaborate with one another so that we can continue this work and continue to inform policy going forward. It's my great pleasure now to play a welcome address from the Honourable Buti Manamela, who's the Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology for South Africa. Can you see this video?
Ladies and gentlemen, participants in the IST-Africa 2021 conference, it gives me a great pleasure to address and welcome you on the first day of the 16th organization of the IST-Africa conference series. The South African Department of Science and Innovation enjoys a long and privileged partnerships with IST-Africa, dating back to South Africa's hosting of the first conference in 2006. We are indeed proud to have been associated with IST-Africa's remarkable growth over the years, making it today one of Africa's most important forums for discussing the role of information and communications technology, research and innovation in advancing Africa's development. The Department of Science and Innovation is delighted to continue our partnership in supporting the organization on this year's online event, as the platform IST-Africa provide is more needed than ever. Research and innovation throughout the ages has always progressed through the sharing of experience and expertise, exactly the type of exchanges which IST-Africa enables. Furthermore, as the fight against COVID-19 is showing, international collaboration and joint investments as promoted by IST-Africa is crucial to optimally harness the potential of scientific and technological progress. I'd like to congratulate the organizers on, as always, presenting a rich and compelling program for this year's event. All the key societal challenges to which information society technologies must respond through, for example, e-health, e-agriculture, or technology, enhanced learning applications feature prominently on the program. I'm also delighted to see the specific attention being paid to topical issues such as ICT-enabled entrepreneurship, next-generation computing, and the societal implications of technology. Several strategic initiatives supported by the Department of Science and Innovation to build African capabilities and capacities for leveraging digital and disruptive technologies to accelerate our continent's growth and development will also be presented. These, for example, include African Open Science Platform hosted by our National Research Foundation and the South African Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution hosted by our Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in partnership with the World Economic Forum. South Africa remains firmly committed to supporting Pan-African cooperation and integration as also promoted by IST-Africa. At the start of this week's program, I thought it would be appropriate to pose 3 challenges to the IST-Africa partnership, which I'm confident this week's event will have to respond to. Firstly, IST Africa 2021 should offer concrete strategic advice to decision makers in both government and the private sector on how best to leverage the potential of ICT research and innovation to respond to the COVID pandemic from both a public health and economic growth perspective. In our country, our economic recovery and reconstruction plan includes a priority focus on entrepreneurship and the digital economy. I have no doubt that the outcomes and conclusion of this week's discussions will be a valuable resource to inform and support our efforts. Secondly, IST Africa 2021 should continue to champion Pan-African networks of researchers, innovators and entrepreneurs, but also of cyber infrastructure such as high-speed communications network and high-performance computing centers. The launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area on the 1st of January 2021 is a major milestone for the African Union and its member states' efforts to deepen Pan-African economic integration and cooperation, and also offers new opportunities for intra-African trade in digital products and services. Digital technologies have a crucial role to play to enable the success of the free trade area, and I look forward to learn of IST Africa's reflection on this development. Thirdly, IST Africa 2021 should continue to profile African capacities and expertise on the global stage, as the IST Africa events have successfully done over the years. This is very crucial, not only to ensure Africa's voice is heard in the development of global regulations for disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, but also that the international community optimally draws on African science and technology to address shared global challenges such as climate change. I'm thus delighted that African participation in the European Union's New Horizon Europe Framework Program will be presented this year. I'd like to call on IST Africa to continue to be an ambassador for African science. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, it would be amiss for me not to underline how important such events as IST Africa, even convened on digital platforms, continue to be in order to reinforce global solidarity, friendship and partnership. Our world needs more and not less international cooperation and a renewed commitment to multilateralism. We are grateful for IST Africa's commitment to these values. It is my sincere hope that we will be able to welcome all of you to Pretoria in 2022 for the next event. Till then, please accept my very best wishes for your work and well-being and a most successful IST Africa 2021.